So the time now is 7 p.m. Yes. Had your dinner? No, right? Oh no. But it's okay. All right. So if you want, you can actually take something to munch along the way, lah. All right. Study and munching, I think is still okay, right? Okay, maybe your parents don't allow that, but still do it quietly, lah. Huh? Okay, come. 7 o'clock already. Let's begin our lesson for today. All right. This is your lower secondary math. We'll be focusing actually a lot on something called factorizing. All right, factorization. For the sec one who are here, right, I know that maybe your school haven't really touched on factorizing yet. All right, you're still probably doing on expansion. You have just maybe finished on real numbers, how to plus and a minus something like that, right? All right, so factorization is actually the opposite of expansion. Right. So if you're in expansion right now for sec one, know that factorizing is like the opposite of what you're doing. All right. So this will give you a head start for the lessons in your school. So it'll be good for you. Good. And for the sec two, wow, this is even better for you, right? Because most of you, maybe your school, right, finish inequalities already, right? Linear inequalities you have finished already, and now going to expansion probably. And after expansion is factorization once again. All right. And I'm going to do a revision on the sec one factorizing. All right. Basically the taking out the common term and also maybe a bit of groupings. And the sec two part of the factorization, which is on the cross factorization, or maybe your school teach it as a simple factorization, and also something called the split method. So you get everything all in this lesson. Okay, so let's go. So what do you need for this lesson? Okay, so usually I'll get you to have an exercise book. All right, an exercise book like this, it will be great if you can write down some of the important things, like when I say factorization got how many stages? Got 4 stages. Stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, stage 4. You can actually list them out properly. All right, then when you're doing your school homework or maybe in the exam, you can actually run through these 4 stages and see whether this particular question belongs to which stage of it. Cool? Okay, so your exercise book must be there. Your worksheet, under the prerequisite, right? There's this part whereby you can download the worksheet for today. So we'll be actually doing something called simplifying fractions. I know. All right, simplifying fractions is like the later topic. But if you have a strong understanding of factorization, your fraction shouldn't have a problem. Okay. All right, so stationery, all right, if you have your, ruler, pen and pencil with you, that would be great. And also the very important thing here is your calculator, all right, my best friend. Okay, calculator is a must to have just in case you can do some checking and all this. And in future, I will also teach you how to use the calculator to derive some of the very, very important answers. And of course, your attention and focus is a must. All right, I know it's about 7 o'clock. Some of you haven't had dinner. I know, poor thing. All right, so as I say, go and munch something when you are listening to the lesson. Cool? Okay, come. So here goes. What are the 4 stages of factorization? In sec 1, right, you learn something called what? You learn something called, you take out something called a common term. All right. So this is something that you can write inside your exercise book or maybe on the worksheet itself. All right. 4 stages of factorization. The first stage is to take out something called a common term. All right. This stage 1 is a must to do every time. Trust me. All right. If you can take out, you must take out first. Stage number 2, this is what I call split. Factorization by split. All right, your school teacher may not like it. Your school teacher might say factorization using rule 3. All right, but I don't like it so long. So I call it split. And for split, right, what's so special now here? Split is for 2 items. That is the condition. What are the items? Later I show it to you. All right, 2 items and both items must be what? Both items are perfect square. Perfect square. And not only that, they are separated by a minus sign. All right, it must be a minus sign. Okay, later I explain a little bit more. All right, so this is called factorization by split. Split is a 2 item. Stage number 3 is whereby we say factorization by cross factorization. Right, cross factorization. Or some of your teachers, right, are using something called the box already. All right, there's a box, they draw a box. Later I show you, don't worry, I'll show you both methods. Okay, and for cross factorization, right, this one consists of 3 items. What are items? Later I show you. All right, So this will give you just a heads up lah, which one to use for which question. And number 4, right? Number 4 is back to the, some of you learned this in Sec 1. All right, this is called factorization by grouping. Okay, and grouping got how many items? As you can guess, 1, 2, 3, 4. Split, 2 items. Number 2, 2. 3, cross factorization, 3 items. Grouping got 4 items. All right. So actually, the meaning of my items is actually the terms. All right, I will show it later. Can? So those star one, right, is actually what you learn in Sec 1. Right, and some school teaches the grouping in Sec 1 also. So this 2 is definitely in Sec 2. You learn this. Okay, so for Sec 1 students, right, you learn a little bit extra is good for you. Can? So that when your teacher asks you, hey, how many stages of factorization are there? I know. There are 4 stages, right? And these are the 4. It's always good to learn something extra. For the Sec 2, we'll be doing a bit of revision on the Sec 1 portion, all right, and also the Sec 2 portion, so it benefit you fully. Okay. All right, so these are the 4 stages. And remember, common term that stage must always perform first. Is that okay? Okay, so now let me go into some examples of the factorization. All right, what does factorization means? Can you please remember there must be a lot of brackets. Your answer must consist of brackets. All right, the opposite of factorization is expanding. Expanding means no brackets. All right, factorization means got brackets. All right, let's go. So down here, for example, oh, this one very simple one. All right, number 1, all right, common term. All right, for Sec 1, right, common term, okay, you have to list out like what are the, what makes, for example, what makes 5? What is the factors of 5? So 5 is just like what? 5 is like 1 times 5, right? And 15, right? 15 can also be presented as what? 3 times 5. Can you see that the 5 here is actually the common? All right, both terms have the 5 inside them. And how about x squared? What does x squared means? This x squared actually means x times x. This x down here is simply what? X. Can you see? And can you see that the x is also common here? There's one x here and there's one x here. So what you do? You take out the common term. What's the common term? You out the common term. So 5 belongs to both sides. Have it, you take it out. X belongs to both sides. Have it, you take it out. So 5x is what you call the common term. Then after that, you open a bracket. You put the remainder items back into the bracket. So as you can see, on the left, right, you took out the 5 and the x. You're left with a 1x. So you put a 1x here. The minus is still here. You put it back. And on the right, there is a 3 that's left behind. So you put a 3 down here. And voila, this is your answer. Hey, but sure, can I don't put the 1 in front of the x or not? Can I don't put like that? Also can. This will be the best answer. So your answer will be 5x, x minus 3. Hey, got bracket or not? Yes. All right. This is called the what? This is called factorizing by taking out the common term. All right. If they are common, you have to take it out. Okay. Okay. Number 2. Number 2. Oh no. Is there a common term? Very good. There is. All right. Always clear the common term that stage first. Okay. So down here, right, 5 is actually made out of what? 1 times 5. And 45 is made out of what? What times what is 45? You're supposed to list out the factors. All right. So it's actually 9 times 5. Oh, can you see that the 5 is the common in this case? So the 5 and the 5 is common. So what you do? You take out the common term. You factorize. You out the 5. So down here, you take out the 5 because both sides got 5. Right? All right. Then the remainder items, you must put them in the bracket. So you just open the bracket first. So what's remaining on the left-hand side? Yes, there's still a 1 on the left-hand side here. Okay, there's still a 1 here. Put it back here. The sign is still a minus. Put a minus here. And down here, there's a 9. Put a 9 here. And wait. Still got p squared, right? P squared is still here. You put it back here. Woo! So this is called what? Factorizing by taking out the common term. Correct? But just to let you know, if you do until this stage, right, you will only get 1 mark. Hey, this type of question is actually a 2 mark kind of question. 2 mark. Where's the other 1 mark? All right. So the very first stage, you took out the common term. That's good. But the second stage, number 2, remember what I say? Number 2 is called split. All right. How do you recognize the split? Remember what I said just now? Both items perfect square, separated by a subtraction sign. Okay, look at this. All right, look at this portion. Okay, the blue color portion here. Can you see that this item here, 1 and 9p square, they are considered what? They are considered perfect square. What's the meaning of perfect square? Means, for example, 1 times 1 is a 1. 1 is a perfect square. 3 times 3 is a 9. 9 is a perfect square. P squared is considered a perfect square. So this portion here, can you see not? This is a perfect square. This is a perfect square. 2 items, they are perfect square and they are separated by a minus. You have to activate something called split. Okay, what do you do? So every time if you got this situation, right? All right, 2 items, both are perfect square, separated by a minus sign, you have to activate your split. Okay, so split, you have to open up 2 brackets like this. Okay, ask yourself the 1, all right, the 1 down here. How do you split this 1? Ask yourself, what times what give you a 1? The only possibility is 1 times 1. Okay? Next one, ask yourself, what times what give you a 9? The what and the what must be of the same number. So 3 times 3 gives you a 9. What times what give you a p squared? The what and what must be of the same alphabet. So the only possibility is p times p. Put a plus followed by a minus, like that. All right, and the 5 is still in front. Just put it down. The 5 is still here. And this is a final answer, 2 marks for this. Hey, sure, can I practice a little bit more? Sure. So for example, if the question asks you, what is x squared minus 49? I want you to factorize it. X squared is a what? Perfect square. 49 is a perfect square. They are separated by minus. What you do? Open 2 bracket. X squared is x and a x. 49 is a 7 and a 7. 1 plus 1 minus. Voila. Answer. So easy. One more example. Why not? All right. Why not? For example, we have what? 4x squared minus 81. Can? Is 4x squared a perfect square? Yes. 4 is 2 times 2. X squared itself is a perfect square. 81 is 9 times 9 is a perfect square. Separated by a minus, yes, we activate the split. We open 2 bracket and we split. 4 is made out of 2 times 2 is a 4. X squared is x times x is a x squared. What times what gives you a 81? Must be the same number. So it's 9 times 9 is a 81. 1 plus and 1 minus. Voila. Fun, right? This is called activation by, this is called factorization by split. It's very useful. All right, this is called rule number 2. 2 because got 2 items now. All right, it's very useful. Remember, what separate the 2 terms must be a negative sign. Plus cannot. All right, so this is called factorization by split. It's very, very fun. And try to do it because it will give you the 2 marks instead of the 1 mark here. 1 mark is good, 2 marks is even better. Okay? Don't worry, later we practice a little bit more. All right.